So I'm joined here by Torsten, the CFO of Sono Motors. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure to have you. Hi, Francis.
Yeah, it's really great to see this car over here. It just makes sense. Having solar panels on a car is I just did a video about that. I put solar panels on a Tesla, and then it's like all aftermarket parts. And I'm glad you guys contacted me. And it's like, we got a product like this.
Yeah.
So
we saw that video, and I like to see you're thinking about it, and you came up with solutions.
Yeah.
Of course, we're trying to take it one level higher.
Yeah, I like that. That's like it's 25,000 euros for this car.
Yeah.
And then you add taxes and all that, but that's really, really low price for a electric car in general. I'm like waiting for it to come to the U.S. market.
It is a very affordable car, and we're focusing on Europe so far, so on the European market first. But hopefully one day in the midterm future we'll also launch in the U.S.
On the website, I see on the reservation system that you can pay up to like 20, the full amount of the car.
Yeah.
And then you get like one Sono Point.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, it's something we came up with a couple of years ago. Sono Points to give future dividends or participation rights of the founders from our founders to reservation holders.
Yeah.
So the deeper the down payment or the higher the down payment, the more points you get. And every point one day will transfer into a certain participation right or future dividends.
Currently you have about 42,000 pre-orders, 20,000 consumer pre-orders, 22,000 business pre-orders, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to produce all these cars during the first year, this is kind of like, I'm looking at 8 minutes every car. Like every 8 minutes, one car comes out of the factory. So like this sounds really fast. Is this the anticipated production rate?
Full production capacity is 43,000 units
Per year?
Per year
Okay.
at Valmet Automotive. And hence those 42,000 pre-orders and reservations you just mentioned, this is basically 1 year of full production capacity. 2023, second half will be start production, then 2024 will be ramp-up year, and full production capacity in the second half of 2024, meaning 2025 will be the first year of full production capacity, and that's an equivalent of 43,000 units.
The car has solar panels all over it. So that means you need to park it in the sun. I had some people talk about, hey, I don't want to park my car in the sun, it's going to ruin the paint job, right? What do you say to those people?
So first of all, of course, you don't have to park it in the sun, it's your choice. It gets more yield if it's parked in the sun.
You would want to park it in the sun, right?
Yes, you would want, but you also get some yield if you parked in the shade. These
from indirect sunlight?
Exactly, these are monocrystalline cells, so that means you don't have to be parked exactly in the sun, but also shade works from indirect light, from overall light. Okay. But of course, you get significantly more yield being parked in the sun.
I mean, it would make sense. It's like, why would anyone park it in the shade? You get a note on the windshield. Why are you parking in the shade?
Yeah, a solar car wants to be in the sun. Yeah. So the question is, are people worried about it heating up too much?
Yeah.
It's a black mat, so normally it absorbs some of the energy. And of course, the solar panels also absorb the energy, a certain amount. That means it doesn't heat up that much as a normal black car would.
Cars like Tesla, they purposely have massive cooling, and they try to keep the battery within a certain temperature, like in order to prolong the battery life. How is that a worry for the Sion?
No, we're doing the same. The battery gets cooled or heated depending on the time of the year, because then again you get more yield out of the battery energy. And the second aspect, if you're thinking about fast charging and all of that attached, there's no better way than charging a battery with low voltage with, for example, solar energy. The more often you fast charge a car, well, it's convenient for you as a driver because it only takes 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes. But for the battery, the fast charging, it hurts the battery. So mid to long term, it doesn't help because you're putting quite some energy compressing the energy into the battery.
Pre-orders are around 25,000 euros. Is there any plans to increase the price? Because I thought the price increased because it was said that it was 25,000 euro, and then when I looked on the website, it was 29,900 because of taxes or some weird issue with the U.S. When I saw that, I was like, oh, they increased the price, so you have to like get in early to buy the car. Is it going to stay the same price till first production?
Yeah, we have no plans to increase the price.
Okay.
So on the website, yes, in Germany you have to show the VAT included in the price. This is why in Germany we're talking about 29,900 euro, because that includes VAT already.
Really like the idea that it'll keep charging.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that if it's charging all the time, it's not about charging the entire battery. It's like you get like a little bit every day, you know, so if you go very small distances, then you don't have to charge at all. Right?
Exactly, and this is why we believe it's a perfect car for commuters, because majority are driving 10, 12, maybe 15 miles a day, maybe 8 miles to work, 8 miles back, 16 miles, and this is almost all of that gets charged by the sun again.
It was like 10 miles a day that you get charged on average or something, so that's three.
Yeah.
Is it correct? That's around 3,000?
Yes, 10 miles a day, and this is Munich based. So if you're talking about California here, for example, between San Francisco and LA, you get something between 5,000 to 6,000, up to 6,000 miles in LA.
Every
if the
year.
car is parked outside. You can simply use the car as a power bank.
Like whole home backup. Then you would need some kind of connection to your grid, your home panel.
Wall box, which more and more people have. You need to have a wall box or some kind of connection that allows you to do so.
I guess if you use it as a backup battery, then is it LFP chemistry inside?
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. Yes, yeah.
I have two more questions before we are finished. You guys currently have about 90 million in the bank, but then I see that the last quarter is about 35 million, like usage of whatever capital expenditure, and it looks like there's only 3 quarters or 1 year of runway. But then I guess you probably need to like get financing in other ways on top of that.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I guess I can't look at it as a personal financing, because if I were to run out of money within a year, I'd be kind of nervous, right? Like I don't know how you guys do it. It's like, oh, it's almost there. So like, does it look like you're gonna need another round of financing before the actual the first delivery? I'm saying.
Yes, we will have to raise additional capital, and it's also public, of course. I'm telling you public statements here, which is normal for fast-growing companies, especially if it's not a software or anything like that. So, like most of our peers, we have to raise additional capital right now, especially for machineries and toolings, so for getting the production set up and running.
Pretty high capital burn, especially for last quarter then, I guess.
It always depends on what you define as high capital burn. I personally believe we are really efficient with the money that we received. So we really try to be as efficient as you can be as an EV startup or scale up, meaning production is outsourced, for example. We are using Valmet Automotive, a Finnish contract manufacturer, and they've been producing for more than 50 years for other OEMs, and hence high quality, premium quality, and they provide the production facility and the blue collar workers as well. We still need to pay for those machineries and toolings that are specifically being used for the Scion, but whatever we can share, we share. And hence we don't have to pay for the building and all these things, so this saves a lot of money. And in many ways, you're trying to be as capital efficient as possible.
So I have the last question here. I really love the solar electric vehicle concept. You even have a ticker symbol, SEV. Like, no one's gonna have that one, because that's like, I don't think I've ever heard of someone call it SEV, because you got BEV, right? Battery electric vehicle, solar electric vehicle. But since Sono Motors IPO'd about 1 year ago, like a lot of the other startup, the electric car startup. General stock market has tumbled greatly. The other EV makers are down over 50%, but Sono stock has been down 95% since the IPO. Is it a good time to buy?
I'm laughing because I'm not allowed to comment on if it's a good time to buy or not.
At least I
but
can ask it.
I think what you need to consider is when we went public, we issued at $15, and then the stock went up to $47 on the first day of trading.
Oh, there's a lot of excitement.
So it tripled,
Yeah.
and ever since, of course, like everybody in the market, especially in the EV
pretty
market,
brutal recently.
we've seen quite a decline. And if you look at our stock chart, of course, it looks more extreme because of the tripling within the first day. Otherwise, it wouldn't look that negative. But overall, the capital market has been quite difficult recently for many companies out there. I think for us looking forward, and this is what I'm allowed to comment on, is we have two very interesting business pillars. We spoke a lot about the car, the SUV, the solid electric vehicle. What we haven't touched is the solar technology itself. I'm not
All
sure
right,
how
you
familiar.
got the, where was the poster with
Yeah,
the
yes,
solar
exactly.
panels on the
Yeah.
buses and
And this is our second business pillar. So we're using the patents and the technology and our know-how to act as a contract manufacturer or to license the technology to other OEMs or other manufacturers. So it can be passenger vehicles or buses, trailers, trucks, RVs. So for many commercial vehicles, it's about TCO, bringing or reducing total cost of ownership. For the RVs, camper caravans, of course, it's becoming independent from charging infrastructure. If you want to go camping, and instead of rolling your own solar panels like you did on the vehicle,
that's not realistic, by the way. Yeah.
So we have the technology to equip other mobility applications with our solar technology.
Thank you for your time, Torsten.
Yes.
CFO of Sono Motors, and very glad to be here. And thank you for all the tour and showing me around.
Francis,
Well, have a great day.
pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.